Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video, and Veve and Marvel are dropping a cool Daredevil comic that is really scarce. Here's a first look at it. As always, this is actually Daredevil number 3, the first appearance of the Owl, a very cool character, not extremely well known, but a nice Silver Age comic that we're going to get into right here. I'll tell you who the Owl is. With the new Daredevil show coming, it's kind of interesting what they're doing here with this character, and we'll see how much further they go. I'll show you the IRL value of the printed copies of this one and give you my price predictions as well. So if you do like the vid, make sure you smash like as always and comment down below. Are you going to go for this one? There's only 5,000 editions, so it's nice and scarce, and you got to love that on a $6.99 comic price. That's the price I like. Those are the kind of numbers I like, specifically for a comic like this, for sure, right? But let's get into the article breakdown and the article review right here. There it is, you guys, 1964. And you can see these covers look really cool. Some nice variants right there for sure. Exclusive to Veve. That's the one thing. These rares and ultra rares are always exclusive to Veve, and the secret rare as well. They only exist here digitally, right? So anyway, check it out right here. There's the common right there. Really nice art, Jack Kirby, super classic. Looks fantastic. It's a really good looking cover right here. He's like a kind of a Kingpin type character, and if you look at the Kingpin and you look at Spider-Man and you look at New York and you look at Daredevil, and you look at the show and all these kind of things coming together, we're going to see him a little bit more. He was already in a previous version of the Daredevil show. So, we'll see how it goes from here. There's the rare right there. Looks really cool. Daredevil's nice and prominent. You can see he's kind of got like Wolverine claws there, which is kind of cool. He's got some enhanced abilities I'll tell you about in just a second. There's the ultra rare. Looks really nice as well. And then the secret rare is kind of funny. He looks like he's pouncing on him from behind there, just kind of jumping on him. It's kind of funny, right? For sure, right? But here, like I said, is the best thing right here. $6.99 price from the store, 5,000 editions. And you can do the priority MCP bid of 5,000 points if you want to get yourself ahead of this one. I don't think you're going to need to, even though this one is actually like quite scarce. Only 125 secret rares. And then, of course, they hold back a bunch, for Veve and everything like that. So you're going to be looking at like a very scarce secret rare. So that's going to help this one sell out for sure. I do think it's going to sell out. I don't think it's going to sell it in 1 second, but I do think it's going to sell out because these 5,000 mint, type secret rare, Silver Age comics, they usually sell out, no problem. Now, how much does this go for IRL in print? Well, it's a key issue. Like I said, 1964. Here's the Go Collect Full Access account. I always have that just for you guys. It's not extremely valuable. A 9.8 sold in 2012. For almost, $8,500 US. So that's a long time ago. And those are the only two sales. So, this one would be like well over 10,000, probably around 15,000 US, I would say, on estimate right now. You get a 9.8 and a 9.6. It's about 4,200 right there. You can see the 1 year average for 3,300 for like the 9.4. So it's not crazy valuable, but at the highest grades, it's definitely a high level comic that if you wanted to walk into a store and get a graded copy, you'd have to pay like, $1,000 for sure or more, maybe up to 2 to 3 if you wanted to get a higher grade. But if you want to get a raw copy, you can head over to eBay. And right now you can pick them up for a couple $100 for a raw copy, really nice condition. They're not super cheap. This is not a $50 comic. So it does have some value. It's because it's 1964. It's early Daredevil. It's Jack Kirby. Great cover art, and it's pretty scarce IRL as well. I mean, there's only 1,500 copies graded, so it's a very nice comic, nothing to like, ignore. I'm going after it for sure, 100%. Now, who is the Owl? Well, here's a little villains wiki right here that you can go to with Marvel, and basically it's Leland Owlsley, which is kind of funny, better known as the Owl, a minor antagonist in the Marvel comics, so he's not like a huge villain, but he's commonly a foe of street-level superheroes such as Spider-Man and Daredevil, and he's in there with the Kingpin and all that. He's got some enhanced abilities, kind of like sees better, hears better, kind of like an owl. It's kind of funny, right? But he does cause a lot of problems for sure, and he's actually been in the Netflix Daredevil show as an older character. Actually, you might recognize the actor who played him. He was the warden in the Shawshank Redemption. He played him, actually, if you remember that actor. Can't remember his name, but, kind of cool. So we'll see what happens more in the show right here. But let's get to my price predictions on this comic right here. You got the common right there. I think this one does sell out with the 5,000 editions. I think the common's going to go for between 4 to 6 gems. No problem right there. I think the uncommon somewhat similar right there, right off the bat. I think you'd be able to go in the market and pick it up. But because it's scarce, I think this will climb up to about 8 to 9 gems, in a little bit because there's not very many of them. People will buy them up at 4 and 5, even 3 maybe if you could potentially. And then just because of the scarcity, you see these other 5,000 mint run comics usually run around 8 to 9 gems on the common. After time, you'll probably be able to pick them off here at 6 and 7 gems every now and again if people drop them for sure. But the rare right there, I think the rare goes for about 12 or so, 12 to 15. I think that ultra rare goes for about 25 to 30, somewhere in that range. And I think that secret rare, because it's so scarce, will go over 100. I'm looking at it probably about 125 is my guess on the floor. These are just my guesstimates. You guys let me know what you think, but this is just based on the history of stuff we know for sure, right? And previous drops we've had. Now, will you do MCP priority bidding? Totally up to you if you want to do it, but I don't think you necessarily have to on this one. My opinion is I'm not going to spend any MCP. I'm just going to go for it naturally. $6.99 Silver Age comics with a 5,000 edition run. I go for every single time. I'll probably go for this a couple times, 3 probably minimum. That way it gives me a little bit of a chance. I might go for a little bit more because I don't think you're going to lose too much. If it's at 4 gems in the aftermarket on a common or an uncommon, you only lose a couple of gems if you're gambling for that secret rare. So that's just my opinion. That's what I'm going to do. But you guys let me know what you think. Now it's time for your thoughts. As always, are you going to be going for this one? Or are you going to just sit this one out? Or are you just going to go in the aftermarket? My plan is to go for it, like I said a few times, go into the aftermarket, look to pick up that 3-digit common, depending on what I get on the drop, of course, and go in there, snag that rare for MCP if it's cheap enough, and just kind of wait a little bit as time goes on for it to go down or up in value. But if I can land that secret rare, that would be a nice 100, 125 gem flip maybe for me. And then I can go in and I can buy the ultra rare, which actually looks really cool. That's sort of what I'm thinking. I want to know what you're thinking as well. Anyway, good luck on the drop if you're going for it. I'll see you in the next video, and happy collecting.